No, is this everything we know so far?
Yeah, so I've put everything. There's copies of all this stuff in the journal tab as well. If you want to look at that, if you want to check stuff out that. So we start off. I had been to the reading of the will, um, and you'd followed up a few things from that, hadn't you? Been to visited the museum, visited the library. Um,
Went for the safety deposit box first.
yep, yep. Went to safe deposit box. Checked out the contents of that, and that led to you to do a bit of research. Read through the papers that were in there, and then did a bit of digging at the library, and then headed out over to Ross's Corner and did a little bit of a recce of the farmhouse, or rather,
Yes.
the land, the land immediately around the farmhouse.
We didn't actually go in.
No.
No.
And at which point, according to the video that I watched it just a bit before from the last session, and so you did that, and then decided to head back to Arkham.
What day was that?
That day is Sunday, the 11th of September, and it's about 11:10 in the morning.
So the things I have written down that we wanted to do was investigate the deaths of Crawford Harris and Cecil Jones. But reading back, I don't know if we should be investigating the deaths of everyone because the other two were a bit sus anyway, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was a cover up, wasn't there? They covered
Yeah.
up certain things that happened.
Yes. Okay. I think we should still look into it in the library. Let's see if we find any old articles, anything which might be useful.
Is that where we would go to research such things in this?
Well, that would depend that would depend on um, where the other people died, and if the library has papers that cover that area. So the library will have back copies of local newspapers and probably national newspapers, as well as various periodicals and magazines. But if their death didn't make the national news or wasn't in the local area, then they're unlikely to have records. There's unlikely to be anything recording their deaths in those papers.
Okay, is it possible to search the registry office? Like, the deaths and, birth certificates and stuff like that.
Again, you could do that, but again, unless they're in that jurisdiction, unless they only if they didn't die inside that officer's jurisdiction, then they'll not be recorded. So the deaths will be recorded, but you need to know, they'll only be recorded in the place where they happened.
So basically, it's a total lottery.
So
very, very, very
unless you
unlikely.
know where they reside or resided, or where they were when they died, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem.
So Marion Ellen was murdered at the docks in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And Harold Coppliff, he was on the horse, weren't he?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they told the
That's
papers,
what
isn't it?
Yeah, but we know it's a setup. It's not true.
Yeah.
Did the state do census at this time?
Sorry?
When you every 10 years you check the people. What is it called? Census.
Oh yeah, census, yeah.
Census. Sorry. So have they done this that time in the states?
Uh, I imagine there's, yeah, I imagine they'll carry out censuses.
So would it be possible to search for those people in the records of the National Archive or whatever this,
If you
whatever
wait,
this,
um,
or actually we physically not going there because it might not be, it should be kept in, I don't know, New York or Washington. But how about if we make a request, and we pay
yeah.
for
So
it?
yeah, say so yeah. You could make a phone call or send a telegram and request that information. It might cost. Um, there'll probably be a fee attached to that because obviously somebody's gonna have to spend time doing that.
Hmm. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just grasping, you know,
But
something.
that's it's
Too
not.
much effort, maybe for too little. Because in this
Um,
way, we would be able to figure out, I mean, if they filled up that census thing, their occupation and the place of, residence. And from that point onwards, we could search, the local news because we know where they came from. But this is very, very fast.
It would also take quite a bit of time as well.
Yes, yes, I know that. So it's not a valuable idea. Okay, sorry.
so if Harold Copley was covered up by Ross's Corner slash Arkham Police, where would we get that information from? Arkham Police? Would that be in Arkham?
Sorry, say that again, Dan.
So Harold Copley was he was he fell off the horse in Ross's Corner near the farmhouse, I would imagine, going into town. I think it says. So would the information regarding would we need to investigate with the Arkham police, seeing as Ross's Corner is basically just a
Yeah, so
little split of a town.
yeah, so Ross's Corner will fall under Arkham's jurisdiction. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
we
we
don't
could
really have.
check the local paper and police records, but I don't know how do we get access to police records.
Um,
So in Arkham, sorry, carry on. I'm just making notes, of stuff that we need to do and where we need to be.
so I, what is it you're wanting to get police records on those for?
Yeah.
That of this guy with the horse accident.
Yeah. So why is it that you're going after that?
Well, there was from what we read in the journal that don't match up with what's been put in the story.
No, no, it says. I mean, it. So in the journal, it tell you know what happened,
Hmm.
and so you know what happened because it says in the journal, and they just concocted that story to and 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 that they just concocted that story to like cover themselves.
So basically, it's no point to investigate that.
Well, I don't think there's anything else to learn than what you
Yeah,
already
yeah,
know.
that's what
You
that's what
know,
I mean.
you know the truth, and you know the lie that they're told.
Yeah, so basically, we would just find out the
Yes.
cover up story, which we know anyway, but
Yeah.
it doesn't lead anywhere.
No.
So I think what we should do, we should go back to the farmhouse, before that, gear up and go in and investigate it from the inside.
When you say gear up,
Sounds like Ghostbusters.
I meant a couple of torches. I mean, battery power torches, maybe a gun or two, and I don't know what else. A crowbar. That's what I meant on gear up.
So I don't know if you want to. You need to review. It might be an idea to review some of the pieces of evidence that you've collected, like parts of the journal and things like that.
yeah, we've still got the journal, haven't we? So we've got the safety deposit box, the small gold sarcophagus box, possibly used to contain the amber arthropod, slim leather-bound journal, the deed to the farmhouse. Did we spend any time looking at the journal?
I did read it all out, but it's there for it's all there if you want to look at it.
Yeah, I've got it.
I mean there's a lot of entries, but it's only the last three, maybe last three, 2 or 3 entries that's kind of really relevant. Or last 4. So yeah, from about February, the entry from February 14th, 1877 onwards. All the others is like just about the failed attempts.
Oh yeah, we need to go back to the library, don't we? Try speaking to that guy that won't let us into restricted section.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be in until tomorrow, would he?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Monday
yeah.
today, isn't it?
It's
No,
Sunday today.
today is Sunday. It's Sunday today. You have to wait until tomorrow when he's back to the office.
So yeah, Professor Armitage is in charge of them. He's like in charge of the restricted section. The books are being put. That book has been put into the restricted section of the library. And as the librarian told you, with explicit instructions that nobody's allowed access without his express permission.
So. And I mean, we used to go here, didn't we? So we might have a bit of sway. So I guess I'll wait sure what time the library's got a specific opening and closing times on a Sunday, hasn't it?
It has, yes. I believe it's open till about 4, but you've got limited access to things on a Sunday.
So as I see it, then we've got things to do is either wait till Sunday to talk to this Dr. Armitage, Monday to talk to Dr. Armitage, who's the head of the library, or we can investigate the death of Crawford Harris and Cecil Jones, because we don't know what happened to them. What do you think?
I would, wait until Monday and speak to this, guy in the library.
Crawford and Cecil did most of the painting. Crawford panel. I think Crawford was the one that threw the powder at it, weren't he?
No, that was Alan.
Where it came from, but Crawford apparently dispelled the creature, reached forward, and destroyed part of the pentagram, breaking its effectiveness. So he was the one that set it free.
So regards the deaths of the various of their like circle of friends, the only one that Merriweather kept a record of, other than to like record the dates, was Marion Allen's, which may be because that is the only one that sort of stood out as unusual.
He was the one that was murdered at the docks.
Yeah. So it might be that there's nothing particularly unusual about the others' deaths. There's nothing unusual about Merriweather's death. He just died of cancer.
So we need to.
So it would seem likely that that Rupert would have recorded something in his journal if he thought there was something suspicious or of note about the death of the others.
I just read the journal and I couldn't find anything. Maybe I missed.
Well, no, because the journal only goes up to 1877. March 13th, 1877, whereas Marion Allen was killed on August 12th, 1878. So we don't know what happened to him. And Crawford and Jones were killed 1910 and 1919.
Yeah. So the last entry is dated July 29th, 1923.
Oh, so it is.
Yeah. It's talking about
So
that
it's
thing
still
might-
it's still
might
been
be off.
it's still been recording things. I mean, it's obviously recorded the dates of the deaths on when they actually happened.
Okay,
But
so is
then-
this all the information we need? Was this all the information that we've got from the journal, or is there more?
So that's everything in the journal. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. So he has been recording, but there's just been nothing for him to record.
Yeah.
Fine. So that's what, another 25 years? 30? No, 55
Four-
years.
no, 70,
45.
45 years.
Yeah.
46.
Obviously recorded. Like I say, he's recorded Crawford's death and Cecil's death. So he's written them entries, albeit just a name and a date on the year that they happened as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So, he must have gone back and filled their death dates in.
Yeah.
For that entry. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'd not picked up on that.
Because obviously he's not predicted them.
For some reason, I just thought it might have been a separate entry. But yeah, then the fact that
So yeah, it made an entry after the incident. So the last entry after the incident is March 13th, 1877, and then is recorded the deaths of people as they've happened. So obviously obviously recorded them as they've happened.
Yep. And then one more entry on.
And then one more entry from this year.
Okay.
So
What date are we on?
it is the 11th of September, 1923.
That makes a lot more sense. I'm a month out. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, I'm a month out. I'm 2 months out. Man,
What do you mean 2 months out?
been keeping track of what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And I'm 2 months out.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. It's just my mistake. So
Yeah, so only thing regards the Miskatonic Library, their own library, the only thing that's open on a Sunday is the reference section. So the rest of the library is off limits.
pass me my charger, please. I think there's much we can do today, is there?
No, let's wait for tomorrow. And actually, we can,
Okay.
look for items what we need if we go into the farmhouse. Get ready for it. And tomorrow we can visit the library and talk to them.
Right. Listen. What we're planning on doing in this house?
Try to find out what's going on inside. No,
So we're aware that the house has been possessed, or there's something that lives in the house that probably shouldn't be there.
according
Is-
to the journal, there's
According to the
something-
journal. Yeah. So we have that information. We could prepare for that. If we're supposed to be going in there and de-spooking the house, then is that something that we could do at the reference library? Can we find information regarding that?
I don't know.
So again, if you've got at least, if not all of the answers in the journal.
I think it's going to be a case of re-summoning this demon and then trying to seal it back up.
Yeah, but you and me, we never seen a demon. Do you believe in this thing?
I mean, I'm starting to.
Okay, I'm skeptical.
Okay. I think the characteristics of some of the features of my character is that he's of the spooky persuasion. Cool. So if you don't want to do anything today, then we just wait around and try catching this guy at library.
So so if you look at Rupert's letter as well, that's probably got some information that you might have forgotten about as well.
Difference. Yes. Poor Steve, you ain't got a clue what's going on. Don't worry, buddy, you're not the only one.
Unfortunately, we have to leave him somewhat in the dark at the moment.
That's no way to come with the horrors and make us. Suppose we could try and conduct a seance.
If you think that helps, yeah, sure.
So, have you got Rupert's letter?
I'm reading it at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm reading it too.
Yeah.
The method of delivering that thing out of the world is still in that accursed. The method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The translations made by Marion from the book. So the translations must be inside the house. The house that you didn't want me to go in. Right. Back to the house looking for translations.
So you wanna go into the house today,
Oh,
or
well,
after we have spoken to the guy in the library?
well, the translations, it says there, the method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The translations made by Marion from the book, Divernis Mysteris.
We should research that book in the forbidden part of the library, the Vermis Mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
Before we enter, I think we should do our research before we go in.
I mean, if we can get the translation and take them to the guy, that might make more sense. If we can find the translations in the house. If we read from the book and all we've got is a bunch of Latin that we don't know anything about,
It says,
what we're even looking for.
translations.
Yeah, exactly. But that's but all we've got. We'll have the book in Latin, won't it? We've not translated them.
Oh, right, I see what you mean, yeah.
All we, even if he does give us access, all we've got is a book, and then we say, "Oh, this is a nice book." I don't speak Latin. I don't read Latin. If we were to turn around and take the translations, then we could kind of reverse engineer it almost.
So you wanna go in first?
I don't think we've got any option. If we turn up to this head library guy and say, "Can we have a look at the book?" and he says no, what are we going to do then?
Then
Why
we
do you
can.
why do we want to why do you want to look at book? We're investigating a spooky house.
We might be able to translate it ourselves.
So it's up to you. Well,
Okay, let's do the house. You know, I'm open for suggestions. No problem. But I would wait until we speak to the guy and let's see
okay,
what
let's wait and
happens.
speak to the guy. All we've got is time.
And are we telling him the truth or are we making up some story or what we're gonna do?
We should just stick to the truth. No point trying to bullshit people, is there?
Okay.
I think if he knows who Rupert was, Merriweather, then he'll know who we are, or at least know of his weird little clique.
Mhm. Okay, let's tell him the truth. So Phil, we wait until next day.
Okay.
Or maybe we could wander around and possibly bump into somebody that could help us.
So let's hit the bars. Oh, there are no bars. It's prohibition. Oh,
So what is it you're thinking?
Well, it sounds like we're going to be waiting to talk to this guy, but in the meantime, we want to bump into. Well, we need to. We're going to try and put ourselves in a position to introduce our new compadre.
how about,
You don't need to. You don't need to worry about that. I'll sort that out.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And it looks like we're going to wait to go to the library then.
There's a specific trigger for that.
He being used in outdoor privy.
Yeah, I sit here quietly.
so we go back to my house and settle down for the night. I mean, we chill out in the afternoon, and we go back in the library in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we know the opening time, 9 o'clock or something like that.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be open by that time. Yeah.
In the meantime, Phil, would it have been possible to get in touch with the New Orleans Police Department to get any information regarding that?
You could certainly
Mystery.
try. You could certainly
Yep.
try.
I mean, it costs us a note, unless
So yeah, you could providing that Dennis has got a phone, or failing that, you use a public phone.
I'm middle class, so it's your decision. Do I have a phone? Can I afford a phone?
Well, let's see. Where are we? I think there's probably a good chance you got a phone, but let's have a look.
I have a car, so a
Yeah.
phone you cannot be that far, I believe, for my means.
Let's have a look now. Middle class, which yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Cool. So
Character perhaps has their own phone.
I will try and get on the phones with the New Orleans Police Department.
Okay.
Ask them for any information that they have that wasn't in the paper regarding the August 12th
Okay,
murder.
what's your approach going to be on the phone? Because obviously this kind of police records aren't necessarily
Public information.
Yeah. So what's your tact going to be?
I don't know. Let's have a look at my character sheet. See if I excel at one thing.
Obviously, I will give you one tip. Obviously, fast talk is going to be no use over the phone, because as soon as they put the phone, even if you convinced them using fast talk, as soon as they put the phone down to go and wander off and go and get you the information you've asked them for, they're gonna like come to the sense and think, hold on a minute.
Why don't you pretend to be a journalist and you're just looking into the death of that person?
Yeah, I could do that. I could pretend to be the journalist with emphasis on. Could I use psychology for this?
No. No.
Um,
You could use credit rating to try and sort of like pass yourself off as being something, something you're not, or you could use like persuasion to try and talk them round with a logical argument.
or what about if I go down the route of being truthful? Say I'm a parapsychologist investigating a string of people getting their tongues cut out in an occult manner. I'm just looking for, any kind of devil worship. A devil worship angle, something that just didn't sit right with any of the officers.
So think about
And again,
this.
the tongue cut out's not going to be.
Yeah, so you are sitting in a police station, yeah, having your Sunday afternoon siesta, and some crazy people from halfway the country calls you up and tells you this story. Would you give information out over the phone to this crazy request?
Probably not now. But then again, it's
It's
same
not.
with journalist, isn't it? Really.
And the journalist is maybe far more.
Persuasive.
Yes, far easy, far believable, more believable. Because not many people know about this thing, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
it's Sunday afternoon, and you're a police officer, you're having your siesta on the station. I can't be bothered about this. I wouldn't, especially if it's not my, overranking officer asking. I wouldn't give
Yeah, sure.
a monkey about it.
Okay, just to check, has everybody got this the default role set to private GM role?
Um, private GM role I have now.
Yeah. So on the drop-down menu, just at the top, just above the dice tray, it says private GM role.
Yeah.
Done it.
Okay. Radio. Was that your role, Mr. Daniels?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Right. The police officer at the other end isn't particularly moved by your argument, and says he's not at liberty to pass on that kind of information.
Does he know if I have anybody else that's been investigating this? Or
Says, when's this from?
it was August the 12th,
This year?
1878.
He just laughed out. He says, I won't even work. I won't even working at that time.
Okay, well, where
That's
could I
not-
find this? Where could I find this information? Is that a possibility?
Well, it'll be on the records, but I'm not giving it to you. And I don't personally know about it because it would have been before my time.
Yeah, long before your time.
So I'm not sure if you're aware, sir, but we don't hand out police records just to member the public on a whim.
Well, I'm aware now.
Is
I
there
will.
anything else I can help you with?
New Orleans. I don't think there is now. I wonder if I could push my roll, Phil. Try again.
If you have to give some good reason to why you should be able to push your roll.
Because he's obviously got the information, and I want
So
to know.
Yeah, you need some justification you need to justify the pushing the roll. How are you going? In what way? What are you going to up? How are you going to up your argument? To persuade him.
I'll let him know. I would try and go down the psychoanalysis, not psychoanalysis, the occult route, and just try and tell him about.
See if that appeals to him.
Yeah.
On the off chance that appeals. Go on then, unless you'll let you make another roll.
That cost me luck, doesn't it?
No, that's only it's just a one-off opportunity to do it. It's the one that costs you luck is if you actually spend luck points.
Okay.
And you can spend
So,
1-to-1 to increase your chance.
Right.
Okay. 25. Well, that's below your skill. But it says, look, I'm not going to give you access to records. For one thing, I'm certainly not going to telegraph or send records by mail. It says, perhaps if you contact the newspaper that ran the story in the first place.
that's a good idea. I thank you for the police for his guidance, and wish him a lovely Sunday afternoon, and let him get back to sleep.
Right.
Does he know what newspaper that ran it initially? He won't do, will he?
He tells you the names of the newspapers are in New Orleans. So he doesn't know which one it is. So you'd have to ring round and find out.
Okay.
But again, well, would they be open? I suppose they would be open.
Yeah, they would be.
There'll be some limited staff on a Sunday.
You need to write articles for the Monday morning paper.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Van. I want to call him Cade then. It's a character name.
Dennis.
Dennis. Dennis can do that then.
Okay.
I'm stressed from not knowing what to set at authority figures.
Okay. So is that what Dennis is doing then?
Yeah, I'm doing it, yes. So I will start. How many papers do we need?
So there's, I'm gonna guess. So there's 3 different papers. So you have to ring round 3 different papers. So all of them have run the story, but it's only one of them actually. But you managed to track down the paper where the journalist worked that actually wrote the story.
Okay. So after 46 years, he's still working there.
No. But they know. But you're able to find the newspaper that he worked at. So the paper that actually had, that actually put the story out.
Okay, so if I ask them, is the reporter still alive? What would they say to that?
Is the reporter still alive? Let's see. Is the reporter still alive? It's probably unlikely to go. Well, it's not unlikely, and he is not alive. No. But they suspect that it's probable that the notes from his investigation are in the morgue, as in the newspaper morgue, not the morgue at not a body morgue.
Archive.
Yeah.
You mean archive?
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked them, is it possible that to get access to that, can you copy them, send them over, or anything like that? Is that
Okay,
possible?
you can make a persuasion roll.
Okay. I have to check what's my password.
It's alright, I can see it.
Yeah, I know you can, but I like to see.
Okay, no problem.
That's not great. Okay.
15%.
Yeah. So I'm rolling.
Oh, well done.
I managed to do it. Begging us luck.
Okay, you can check that, so you can put a check mark to that. Remove the other check marks that's still on your character sheet, though. Oh, there isn't any on yours. Who's got check marks still on the character sheet?
Me.
Yes, so you need to remove those because you only put. So now, from now on, you'll just put check marks on if you get if you've been successful with skill. If I tell you can check it.
Do I get a? Because that credit rating one that was not checked previously. That was one that I actually got. You told me to check that.
Yeah, that's one of your professional skills, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh no, you checked it before, yeah. So no, don't uncheck that one, no.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you did the Egyptian one as well. Oh no.
did.
Oh yeah. So leave them. I thought you'd still got them checked from
Nope.
carriage creation. Right, that's fine. So yeah, you can check that for Dennis. So the and ahh on the phone for a little bit and said, well, normally I wouldn't do this, but if you can give me your details and give me a few days, I can send up some copies.
Okay, I give the details, and I thank her or him for her helpful
Okay.
approach to this matter. It's very important for us.
Can we do the pay on delivery stuff? Can we pay for it?
You don't want any money.
We don't want any money. Lovely. Even better.
So it says it might take several days, but
It's better than nothing. So I'm grateful. We are grateful.
okay.
And I ask his name at the end of it.
His name is Mike Stand.
Okay, I make a note of that. Okay.
No, it's not.
It is. It's Mike Stand.
I don't understand why this is so funny.
Microphone stand. Abbreviate. It's shortened to mic stand.
Okay. All right. So I make a note and thank him for his help.
Okay.
So we might be able to work out something from it. Maybe not, but it's worth a shot.
Right. So what's the plan? What's your plan then?
We wait for tomorrow and ask the guy in the library regarding that book.
Uh-huh.
The one which is mentioned in the.
And beyond that, so what's your overall plan?
So the wish list is we talk to the librarian. We find out the information we need regarding Devertus Mysterious. I can't see him letting us take that book into house, so in my opinion, we should have been taking these translations to him. And yeah, we try and use what we find from the book to shoo whatever's in the house out. They mentioned some salt or some sand or something. Sand? We're probably gonna have to try and
sand.
probably gonna have to try and get hold of some of that. Not 1,000 roars. Need something to draw a pentagram.
Chalk. You can get that in any school.
Right, should we make a list of stuff that we need then?
Yeah, good idea.
So,
Or we can buy some paint and paintbrush as well. You can paint the pentagram as well.
so we need a fire. We need to set a fire. Pentagram is chalked on the floor, marked with the appropriate symbols, and illuminated by 2 black tapers placed near the center. Flanking the piece of amber with its entrapped spirit. I think, and I mean, I don't know any of this, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head, if the thing that was inside the sarcophagus was the amber trapped spirit, maybe we'd need the sarcophagus to put it back in the spirit, to put it back in the box. Does that make sense?
No, can you explain again, please?
So they had this piece of amber.
Yes.
that the spirit came out of. This piece of amber was supposedly in the sarcophagus that we've got, that's currently in the safe deposit box.
Yeah,
So I think as part of this healing ceremony, for the lack of a better word, we're going to need this sarcophagus to put the spirit into. We need to trap it in something. So unless we need amber as well. Marion throws a handful of the powder he has prepared. So we need to investigate the ritual, don't we?
I think so. I think the book is the key.
Yes,
You need to read the book, the information, and we can figure out what to do. At the moment, we have no idea.
But it's a big old Latin book. It's going to be like a needle in a haystack.
Okay. How about at university we find someone who is fluent at Latin?
Okay. Investigate the ritual.
If you find any doctors or lawyers, they might learn Latin.
Other supplies. Field beamer. Right.
So regards the book, I mean it's a possible avenue, although I would point out that unless that Marion supposedly translated the relevant parts from the book, so unless
Still
there's
in the house.
So unless there's some extra bits that he neglected or wasn't aware of.
Well, we could take that either way, couldn't we? We could look at the book, take our own notes, and then compare them, or we could go find the notes, bring them back, and compare them to the book. Something obviously went wrong, didn't it? To do investigate ritual, gather supplies, see a beamer. That's all I've got. So, Hermitage. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no better idea, so yeah.
So you want to go speak to Dr. Armitage, so we'll wait around and do that then.
Yeah, I think that's what I would try, but
Cool, let's do that.
Okay, so it's Monday then, and it's a hot Monday, although it's overcast. And as you head out under the grey sky, a light drizzle begins to fall, dampening your clothes and your mood. You arriving at the university and the library, the old library itself. You make your way inside and ask directions to Dr. Armitage's office, which is on the upper floor of the library. So heading upstairs, you find the sort of frosted glass door of his office with his name emblazoned upon it.
so we knock the door. Is he there inside?
Okay, so knock on the door and there's a response. Says, yes, come in.
So we walk in.
Okay.
And
Right, inside is a man in his late 50s, early 60s. He's quite he's not fat, but he's obviously lived, eats well and lives well. He's got grey hair that's going slightly thin on top and big mutton chops. And a pair of spectacles perched on the end of his nose. He looks up from whatever he's studying at his desk. There's morning.
morning.
What can I do? What can I do for you?
I introduce myself and my company, and I tell him we have a story for you. You might want to help us with this. It's very interesting, and we are stuck. And after this, if he agrees, I spill the beans, tell everything what we know, show him, whatever notes we have and stuff. And we are looking for that book, which is in the closed section of the library. And I'm trying to read him why I'm doing this regarding, does he think we are crazy, or is it, going to be helpful?
Well, that will be a psychology roll then.
Okay.
I can do that.
And you can make, I suppose you can make a persuade roll if you like.
So both of them, or one, or how? Sorry.
Well, both or one. It's up to you. Or if you want to split those tasks, that's entirely up to you.
I'll take the psychology.
Okay, I have nothing on either of those, so okay, do you wanna do both of them, please?
Yeah, sure.
So which is that?
Persuade. It went to a psychology.
So you can you still see these rolls?
I can't. I mean, I can see mine, but I cannot see theirs.
Right.
No.
That's what you want, yeah or no?
It should be. I've got the wrong. So sorry, it should be a blind GM roll.
Oh, okay, so I change it to blind GM.
Ah, okay. So you don't want us to know what it were?
No, I'll tell you. If I want you to know, I'll tell you what you've rolled.
Okay, that makes much more sense.
Sorry, I'd
Cool.
got it wrong way
It's
around.
fine, don't worry about it.
So the first one was psychology. The second one was persuade.
Second one was persuade. Okay, right. So Armitage is hard to read. He listens to your story, and he doesn't show any sign of disbelief or ridicule. But at the same time, it's there's no sign of any sort of acceptance or belief either.
And I do a psychoanalysis on him.
No, psychoanalysis is to try and help somebody overcome like mental trauma.
Ah, okay.
So again, I ask him, is he willing to help?
It says yeah, it's an interesting story, but I'm afraid I can't allow you access to the to those books.
Why is that?
I place the books in the restricted section for a reason, and I'm not at liberty to discuss that. Let me just say that if I was to believe your story, I would believe the books would do you more harm than good.
Mhm. Okay. Uh, Shrug my shoulder, thank him for his, time, and we are leaving.
I would want to ask him if he has any interest in the paranormal or the occult, as it were.
From an academic point of view, it's interesting, yes.
Would he know of the ingredients required to conduct a, I'm going to use the term again, sealing ceremony? The opposite of a summoning ritual.
No, he wouldn't know that. I don't know. He's not really aware of that kind of information. I'm no witch.
Do you know if we can find
Or
any
magician.
witches?
I wait outside, while this conversation is going
Right,
on.
he laughs at you and then looks at you strangely, obviously a little unsure as to whether you're being serious.
Ask him if he knew Rupert Merriweather.
He says he didn't know him. He knows of him. He didn't know him personally. He knew him as a colleague, but he wasn't. But no, he didn't know him personally. He understands that he passed away recently.
He did, yeah, and he left us with the task of, as I just mentioned, this sealing ceremony, of ritual in the house that is left us. And what kind of regard did you hold him in? Did you think him crazy?
He was a likable fellow. It was popular amongst all the faculty.
Trustworthy?
Like I said, I didn't know him personally.
does his reputation precede him? Is what I'm getting at. I'm just wondering if we can get access to these books based on the back of his knowledge, his reputation.
Just a moment. Alexa's decided to relate some information because of something I've said. Just a minute. I'm back in a second. It says, like I've already explained, I'm not going to allow you access to the books in the restricted section. And I don't know what it is you think you're getting involved in, but I would warn you about getting involved in such matters.
I thank him for his time, but tell him we held the professor in high regard and want to action his final wishes. And then I will leave as well.
Okay.
Again, thanks. So, we good?
So what now then?
Hermitage.
Why?
Computer says no.
Why? Why isn't no moving?
So we've got investigate the ritual, gather supplies, steal demon.
So let's gather supplies.
Yep. So I suggest that we investigate the ritual first. So we've both got access to the journal, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What have you got for stuff that we needed? Did we write this stuff down? I'll go through it again.
We need that powder thing, chalk, a crowbar, torches, electric torches. And we need the sarcophagus and
Yeah.
amber. But we don't know how to use the whole thing. I mean, no, any of them, what to do and how to do. That's why we need the notes. Phil, is it possible to buy this book?
No.
Not even with my connection as a librarian?
No, because it's really rare. There's probably only like a handful of copies in the entire world.
Mm-hmm. How about if we break into the library and we steal it?
Well, it could do.
No, I'm asking, my company regarding what does he think of this idea? We're gonna become criminals.
Well, I think we've just turned up asking about a book, and then the same day the book gets stolen, or the same night the book gets stolen.
We are innocent. I give you alibi, you give me alibi, so we are done. We played poker at my home.
So what's your plan? I would again, if you're unsure, I would again point you to the journal and Rupert's letter.
The answers another physical research activity.
So where are you going at the moment? Are you going returning to your house or?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll let Dennis do whatever he wants to do preparation-wise. I'll follow suit, and then what time is it?
The time is. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong window. The time is now about. Oops. No, it's 30 seconds. It's about 11:15 in the morning.
Right. Then I suggest we try and get to the farmhouse and back before dark.
I mean, it's
We're
not
already-
far. It's
we're
half an
already
hour
s-
drive.
We're already scared of being there, so. What
Yeah,
do
we
they do when it
need to
gets
go
scary?
in. It's not gonna come out unless we go in. And that translation is inside the house, according to Rupert's letter. So we need to
Cool.
go in and get that translation.
Let's do that then. Do you want to make any preparations you want to make?
No, I told you all these belongings what we need.
Okay.
My guns. I ask you, do you know how to shoot a gun?
Okay, so while you're debating this, there's a loud sort of persistent knock at your front door.
I answer the door.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
You open the door, and there you're surprised to see Rupert Merriweather's son, Bertrand, stood at the door, looking quite red-faced and angry.
I ask him if I can help him with anything.
This is my lawyer that's with me, Kuso. I want to know what's in that safety deposit box. The person at the will reading, the solicitor, he said that my father had left you some type of safety deposit box.
Hang on a minute. I close the door and I go back and consult with my companion because I know he's his son, but his was not mentioned in the will regarding.
It wasn't mentioned in the will, and he was unhappy with the reading.
Yeah, so
I'm going to start hammering on the door.
let's find it. I'm middle class. The door is very solid, so it will take you ages. It's a solid oak door. So I don't know. I mean, do we want him to get involved or not?
I think we've got any choice, have we? He's only going to make his lives hell if we don't, and he might have some insight into what his dad were doing. And we could just pass it all off on him and then leave him to do it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
See you later, bye.
Okay. I open the door again. I invite, what was your name again, please?
My name is Bertrand Merriweather. My father was Rupert. I believe you know him.
Yeah, we knew him. I invite you into my home, to the living room, and maybe you wanna take a seat and let's talk.
I'm fine where I am, thank you. All I want to know is why my father left you this thing at this property in Ross County. I saw you go there earlier today, and then you left.
We have no idea why. That's what we're trying to figure out. So you tell us what you know, we tell us what we know.
All I know is that I came back to my father's funeral to support my mother, and then at the will reading, there's some mysterious property that's turned up from nowhere that we're not allowed to know anything about. And then I see you two driving off around there.
Okay, have you had a look on that?
The solicitor won't tell me nothing.
Have you had a look on that house? Just from
It was boarded up.
Okay, so basically it's a shackle. It's no value.
I think we just found the letter.
You just what?
Okay,
sorry,
so Bertrand's solicitor cuts in and says, if you've got documents that came with the deeds, then I strongly suggest that you give them to my client, or at least let him peruse them.
Sorry, there was what solicitor? There was only Bertrand.
I said this is my lawyer, Kuso. I brought him as my legal representation for my
No,
mother's estate.
I didn't want him in my house. Sorry, yeah, not him. I don't like lawyers. They are dirty bastards. They just wanna skin you all the time. So he's not welcome.
My mother requested that he came with me.
That's fine.
If you want him to go outside, he can leave and I will talk to you.
Yeah, he can wait outside. Yeah, sure.
Okay, right. He reluctantly assents and goes to wait in the car.
Good. So now, do you wanna show him everything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I spill the beans again. I tell everything what we know.
Okay.
But just so it is aware, we understand his his apprehension towards us and his animosity, but it's completely misguided. We got dragged into this. We got dragged into this just.
We are not doing this for financial gain. We don't know what's going on. We're just trying to work it out, and he is more than welcome to help us or take over the burden. And I go back to my beloved books. Thank you.
Okay.
It's fine. I was worried about my mother. That's why that she was losing out. This
house has not been lived in for 45 years, so the state of it is.
I know he never mentioned that he had a property out in West County. Me and my mother are both shocked that he could have like estate that we were not aware of.
He didn't buy it on his own. They bought it with his friends, 6 of them.
Oh, who are these friends?
I'll show you all the letter.
Okay, so you're gonna show him in the sort of the ordering that you receive stuff.
Yes, everything.
Okay, so first of all, so you'll be able to see this. You'll be able to see it in the journal tab as well, Steve. But I'll put it on the screen as well. Oh, actually, we need to drag you to the other screen. First of all. So it'll just take a moment to load you into the other screen.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll tell you what, I shall, like I say, I'll make them available in the journal tab. I'll read it out rather than you having to read it yourself. Cool. So this is the letter that they received from the solicitor. Dear friends, in my youth, I and some fellow students became involved in what we believed to be an innocent exploration of the occult. Led by a slightly older man named Marion Allen, the 6 of us purchased an old farmhouse in an isolated location outside Arkham. There we could conduct seances and other psychical research in privacy. Alas, our work had unforeseen results. Our last experiment summoned an evil force into this world, and horror consumed us that terrible night, and we fled in terror. Only now do I begin to grasp the truth of reality and the scope of what is happening in the world. I've tried in my small way to combat the horrors and make amends for my part in bringing one to our plane of existence. What I have left to offer, what riches and wealth I have, I will put to good use in dealing with these abominations. It is the very least this old coward can do. I could never make myself go back to that little farmhouse and put those events to rights. I too gravely feared that which my friends and I loosed upon this countryside. Nothing of consequence has yet taken place, but with my death, I fear the bonds will be broken and that horror will be freed to come and go as it pleases. Lives not yet taken already weigh heavy upon my conscience. The method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The translations made by Mariam from the book De Vermis Mysteris. I was never strong enough to take on the task, but I've hope that you are. In ridding the world of this, perhaps you will save my soul from hell, for I fear that my deeds have not been enough to release me from this heavy burden. I do not expect your forgiveness for what I ask of you. Signed, Rupert Merriweather.
Oh, Dog's so busy because she messaging me.
Okay, so that's now available in the journal tab.
Yeah.
So as you can see, Bertrand,
Yeah.
he gave us this burden. That's the reason it didn't get past to your mother. And any of his wealth, as it were,
Yeah.
just doesn't exist. So yeah, we're left cleaning up this mess, talking to the party.
So, are you showing him the rest of the stuff?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so then they show you the stuff that they got from they found in the safety deposit box.
Yeah.
So first of all, there is a gold. A gold. A gold box that's fashioned like a Egyptian sarcophagus, and it's covered in hieroglyphs. And, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Well, we deciphered it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you haven't broken the hard drive,
Okay. Do I recognise this?
No, never seen it before.
Okay. So it's nothing he ever brought home.
No. So they also got so this piece of paper to the right that you'll be able to see on your screen with a photograph of the box. You can see they've like a translation of the hieroglyphs beneath it. Okay, which says Seeker of Wisdom, Servant. The stuff in brackets is like where there's the translations unsure. So it says Seeker of Wisdom, Servant or Son of Yoga or Yoag, Setheth, Deliverer of the People or Slaves of the Water, Bearer of the Spirits of Narlath Otep, Child of Thoth, Seeker of the Wisdom. So that's what the inscription says on the gold box. There is also from the safe deposit box is a journal that was written by Rupert Merriweather, which I'll make it. It's available in the journal tab, but I shall read it out to you as well. So the first, so it's a thin leather-bound journal, and the first entry is dated April 22nd, 1876, and it says, "Our Dark Brotherhood has convened its first meeting. This first entry is to let it be known that our Brotherhood consists of the following members: President and Founder, Marion Allen; Recording Secretary, Rupert Merriweather; other members as follows: Harold Copley, Crawford Harris, Cecil Jones, Robert Wenkin." June 13th, 1876. I still can't believe that we're actually doing this. We have found an old farmhouse outside of Ross's Corner, a place where Marion suggests we can conduct our experiments in private and unmolested. Harold heartily agrees, as does Robert. This should be quite the adventure. June 20th, 1876. The purchase of the farmhouse out on Boom Road has been finalised. We decided to represent ourselves as a literary fraternity in order to delegitimise our endeavour with the brokers in Arkham and to facilitate the furnishing of the property. The adventure continues. August 12th, 1876. It has taken us several weeks, but we have cleaned and furnished the old farmhouse. Crawford and Cecil did most of the painting. Robert and I looked on bemused as Marion made such a fuss over carving special warding runes of protection over the doors and windows, all of them. I thought he was going to throttle Robert for laughing and poking fun at Marion's labours. September 2nd, 1876. We arranged and conducted a séance in an effort to contact the deceased former owner of the farmhouse. We placed candles in a circle around us, and at the stroke of midnight began to chant some incantation that Marion swore was authentic. Our efforts were in vain, as Harold continued to giggle, and Marion grew ever more discontent and impatient with such antics. September 29th, 1876. We have spent the past few weekends at the farmhouse, listening to Marion read from his small collection of books on the occult. He has been fascinating, but I almost wish the seance had worked. Cecil said that he thought we had come so far and is committed to these investigations. All agreed that we should delve deeper than we already have. For once, Harold did not giggle or mock Marion, and I think he too felt inspired that night to do more. October 31st, 1876. All Hallows Eve. We prepared ourselves for a summoning on the darkest day of magic of the year. We inscribed a pentagram inside a circle in chalk in the centre of the floor in the living room and lit candles at each point of the star. Then we all sat cross-legged as Marion attempted what he said was an old native Indian chant used to commune with the spirits of the dead. A cold breeze blew open the shutters and half the candles were extinguished. We relit them and tried again several times, but with no success. February 7th, 1877. We may be close this time. Marion writes that he has acquired an artifact during his trip to Boston, purportedly Egyptian in nature. It is described as a small sarcophagus of gold with a hinged lid. Inside, there is a piece of amber in which is entrapped a specimen of some unknown arthropod. Marion is quite excited. The box itself is bizarrely similar to the description of an occult relic mentioned in a reference volume in the Orne Library in the Egyptian history section. This is promising indeed. February 14th, 1877. Marion says that in a book, a thick Latin tome titled De Vermis Mysteris, is an explanation of some purported powers of the box, but more importantly, the animal trapped inside the amber is said to contain a friendly spirit and guide to the spirit world. The Brotherhood is in agreement, and we have set a date, Saturday, March 12th, to conduct a ceremony as detailed in the notes Marion took from De Vermis Mysteris to summon the spirit guide. Marion feels confident that this will give us enough time to properly prepare for the ritual. March 12th, 1877. We began the ceremony as Marion instructed, according to that described in the Latin book. A fire is set in the hearth and a pentagram is chalked upon the floor, marked with the appropriate symbols and illuminated by two black tapers placed near the centre, flanking the piece of amber with its entrapped spirit. The others sit in a circle, while I, the designated watcher who guards against malevolent spirits, sit in the far corner of the room. Marion throws a handful of the powder he has prepared into the fire, producing an evil-smelling smoke and dampening the flames which now burn a sputtering green and brown. Those seated begin the Latin chant that Marion has translated from the book. After nearly 2 hours, I see a trail of smoke curling up from the piece of amber. Its surface seems to be bubbling, melting. Could this be it? Have we finally achieved success? I can see a form. March 13th, 1877. It is the following day. We have finished with our plans and have sworn a pact never to speak of what happened last night. We have satisfactorily explained away the death of Robert and in some manner the madness of Harold. The sheriff accepts the explanation of a carriage accident. We planned it well. Robert's neck was broken in the fall, we told him. Harold struck his head on a rock when the horse's leg broke and the carriage rolled. Would it be that that is how it was? For the rest of us, we will be forever changed by what we experienced last night. The thing formed in the centre of the pentagram, shapeless, nearly invisible. Its terrible voice should have given us a clue, but we were foolish. It spoke. Then Marion cast that damned powder on the spirit, the dust of Imgazi, he called it, and that is when we could see it. Words cannot describe the faceless thing with 1,000 maws. It roiled and bubbled, never fully revealing itself. So terrifying was its aspect that I sat as though frozen to my chair, the pen falling from my trembling fingers. Cecil and Marion seemed as lifeless as I, while a short, sharp cry issued from Crawford's mouth. Robert, however, rose to his feet, and before anyone could stop him, stepped forward as though to embrace our horrible guest. With its arms, or the appendages that seemed most like arms, It took hold of Robert and twisted his head around as though it were a mere doll's head. His lifeless corpse was then thrown back into Harold's lap, and that's when he began that damnable shrieking, the shrieking that still hadn't stopped even after we handed him over to the sheriff's men. We still had a chance, apparently. Marion now believes that if we had kept our wits, we could have reversed the chant and eventually forced the creature back to wherever it came from. But Crawford had panicked and, mistakenly believing it would dispel the creature, reached forward and destroyed part of the pentagram, breaking its effectiveness. Released from that binding symbol, the thing, with a screech that could only have been unholy satisfaction, fled the house, disappearing out the window as a roaring, screaming wind of boiling colour. Marion believes that the thing could still be destroyed, or at least dispelled, but none of us who remain have the stomach for such an undertaking. It is believed that the spell we cast inextricably binds the thing to the house, and it is true that when we went back a few days later to retrieve our things, we heard it thumping about the attic over our heads. The warding signs so cheerfully carved by Marion Allen during better times that seemed so long ago apparently are effective and bar the thing entry except to the attic of the house. And then there's a series of dates. Robert Wenkin, March 12, 1877. Harold Copley, August 17, 1877. Marion Allen, August 12, 1878. Crawford Harris, January 11, 1910. Cecil Jones, March 22, 1919. Rupert Merriweather, no date. And there's one final entry. July 29, 1923. I gravely fear that which my colleagues and I have loosed upon this countryside. Nothing of consequence has yet taken place, but with my death the bonds will be broken, and the thing will be freed to come and go as it pleases. Lives and souls not yet taken already lie heavy on my conscience. The method of delivering the thing is in that accursed house, the translation made by Marion Allen from the horrid De Vermis Mysteris. I am no longer strong enough to take to the task, but I know of those who perhaps are. Should they fail me, may God have mercy upon my soul. And then there's tucked inside the journal are a couple of newspaper clippings. One is dated 1877. Oops, that's image. And it says, and it recalls the accident, or the staged accident that's mentioned in Rupert's journal. Carriage.
Okay. How do I take the stuff off the top of it? It's like there's a book on top of it.
So you can't move them. It's just like college vet. But if you go into the journal tab at the right hand side, you'll be able to see the things that you now know about.
Okay. So have 6 original people died now, to your knowledge?
Yes.
So yeah, that's what the dates are. That's the dates of the deaths that they died.
Yeah. What was this book they were talking about at the library?
We have no access to that. It's forbidden.
It's
From
forbidden.
Yeah.
Who forbidden it?
The library director said that he's not allowing us to access it.
Do you know what his name is?
Yes, it's in the letter.
It's in the letter.
It's in your father's letter.
Which? Sorry, whereabouts is that letter?
No, it's not in the letter. It's the librarian's name's not in the letter. Or rather,
Oh.
Not the library. I'm talking about the book's name. Sorry.
Oh right, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, do you know the librarian's name?
Yeah. What's his name?
Professor
Sorry.
Armitage is the head of the library.
Sorry, my mic's been muted. Dr. Armitage, yeah, head of library.
Has he got any link to my father?
No, not that we know of.
No. He just know about his existence, but they didn't know each other personally.
So, do we need to look at this book that's at the library?
Yeah. Why? Do you have any
Apparently
way
not.
of getting to it?
Maybe. we can see. Armitage, yeah?
So
Yeah.
the book at the library, So the book at the library is kind of it's a dead end. You're not going to get access to it, and the relevant information has already been Marion also already removed, like translated from it, copied from it.
So we need to enter the house because that thing is in the attic, and we can check everything downstairs, find the paper, and set up a plan how to send it back.
Where do we find the powder stuff?
That's
Do
the
we know
one
how
thing
to
I've.
find some
That's
of
the
that?
one thing I need to figure out. The
No
dust
idea.
of Ibn Ghazi.
Okay, then. Should we go to my father's university and see if he had anything, if they've got anything in storage, in boxes or something?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
The dust of Ibn Ghazi sounds pretty Egyptian to me, Phil. Is that something that we can research in the library?
Yeah,
You could, I suppose.
we could always check his study at home as well. He may have kept some stuff there.
Or there might still be some left at the place.
Yeah, but we can check his workplace, his study first, and check the house after if the first one fails.
Yeah. I never had a good relationship with my father. But
Why is that?
because I became a journalist and he wanted me to become an archaeologist.
Okay.
No, it's not actually.
I didn't progress as far as he did. I didn't want to follow his path. So we're going to so we're not going to the library, but are we going to the study or to his office? See if he's got anything there. I know he's been dead away, but they might not have cleared his office yet.
Yeah, let's do that. Not a bad idea.
Okay, I'm going to tell Kuso that everything's okay and he can go on his day, and I'll catch up with him later.
Okay, no problem. Right, you say he says if you're absolutely sure, you know where to contact me.
Yeah. Hang on, this lawyer, did he handle all of my father's estates and everything, or is he just somebody that I've hired?
What, the Caruso?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's your personal. He's got nothing to do with your father.
Okay, I'm going to ask him to find out. So the solicitor who did the will, he would have been the one that.
So he's like the family's solicitor. Yeah.
Okay then. You might want to have a word with him as well and see if he knows any of those 6 gentlemen that my father bought a property, because he might have bought the property for them, being a solicitor. Is that right?
It's possible.
We've got that. The family home, the university, or the solicitor's office. Go and try.
You two still there?
Who did they buy the house off of? Has that got any relevance?
Something that we didn't investigate.
So you can tell, you'll be able to see that on the deeds, because the deeds record all owners. So
Okay, go see the solicitor, because he'll have the deeds, won't he?
No, you've
Yeah,
got they've got the deeds.
Have we? Oh, whereabouts are the deeds?
Certain aspects, yeah.
They're in the safety deposit box, I think. I don't think
Yeah.
we brought them with us.
Yeah, you've got yeah.
Safety
We got
deposit
them.
box.
Or did you put them in, leave them in the safety deposit box? I can't remember.
Probably left them in there.
Yeah.
I've got murder on the docks, carriage accident, journal of the Dark Brotherhood, and then there's a research tab with translation of Egyptian hieroglyphs and great treasures of the British Museum.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got a deeds one in here.
Correct, yeah. No, I'm the V. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Right.
So
So far as I'm aware, we've been told everything we need to conduct this ritual.
Okay. Is
So
it a case?
I've got written down
Yeah.
stuff of interest. Special warding runes, protection all over the house.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put them back in place if any have been, you know,
Do you know how
bashed
to
off
do?
or
Do you know how to do these runes?
there were some that were already still intact, as I recall. So we could just copy them, I guess.
Did the person that made the runes, did they have to do anything special? Because like,
Doesn't say so.
but just carving it into a bit of wood and that'll be good.
That's all that was said in the letters.
Okay, cool.
Then a fire is set to the hearth. Pentagram is chalked on the floor, marked with the appropriate symbols, and illuminated by 2 black tapers placed near the center. Flanking the piece of amber, which I'm going to assume we're going to have to put the sarcophagus in its place to entrap the spirit. We're going to need some dust of Ibn Ghazi, that's the powder.
Yeah.
We place the candles in a circle around us. We inscribe a pentagram inside a circle in chalk on the floor. Candles lit at each point of the star. Sit cross-legged. We should have somebody designated as a watcher who guards against malevolent spirits. Sit in the far corner of the room. A handful of powder he has prepared into the fire and reverse the chant at the stroke of midnight. And then chant for 2 hours. Sounds like a cooking recipe.
Yeah. Are we going to need 3 more people? I've just got some questions.
Oh.
After reading through all this stuff that you've shown me, it's like, why was Mr. Allen's tongue cut out? And was
We're still waiting for that information.
We don't know that, but usually that's a sign of someone was a traitor when they cut out tongues.
Or they don't want them talking.
Yeah, yeah, that's a sign of in criminal activity.
Yeah.
Usually, yes,
Did Mr. Allen have any criminal background?
or punishment, in medieval times. I don't know. I'm just, trying to search in my.
We've requested this information from the newspaper that reported this previously.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be dropping in the next couple of days.
New Orleans, yeah, but it will take a week probably.
Do we know what the Egyptian artifact was that they wanted that he no longer possessed?
We're guessing it's the sarcophagus that we have.
So why would they kill him on the dock?
We don't know.
Because that thing's massive, isn't it? It's not going to be something that he's carrying around.
Tiny.
Pencil case size.
Yeah, it's 30 centimeter.
Oh, it's only small.
Yeah, it's only small. Yeah.
Okay, I just imagine a sarcophagus being like
huge.
It's just in the shape of a sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Okay. And was that other picture, the gold picture?
Yeah.
And that writing inside, it's been translated.
No, the writing that's on the inside hasn't been translated. That's the only thing they're being able to find out about that is that it's similar to text that's being attributed to the lost continent of Mu or Atlantis, but there's no way of translating it.
There's no way at all to translate it.
No, there's no way to translate it. Nobody's ever been able to translate it because there's no Rosetta Stone or anything for that.
Okay.
And it's not, so it's
Content Egyptian, some say.
It's just sort of theory from in occult circles as well that's and folklorists that's what the script is. Well, it even says that in the book.
So can we only see page 56 and page 57 of this?
Yeah, that's the only relevant pages.
Okay. So he died. When did he die at the docks?
4th of August,
78.
1798.
No, not 1798.
1878.
1878. 1798 is the Battle of the Nile when they found
Oh
the
yeah.
thing. That's a different date.
Sorry, I looked up. I saw that because, like it says there, that there was an artifact that was stolen en route to the British Museum, and before it was delivered, and then he got murdered, and they think he had an Egyptian. Was he taking that sarcophagus thing to London?
Probably, yeah.
So Marion Allen claimed that he'd secured it from somebody in Boston.
Your friend should come over.
So he's got it from somebody in Boston, and he's probably. So is this murder and the disappearance of this museum piece around the same time?
So when it it appears to be the same piece, but it originally disappeared. When it was like it says, when it was en route, it was being transported to the British Museum, and it was stolen.
Yeah.
That was a long time, a long time before that. So that was like it says, late 18th century, early 19th century.
Did you see that stamp on the book?
Yeah, that's just showing its property of the library.
Is that the library that you've been to have a look at the other books?
Yeah, that's the old library at Miskatonic University. That's just their stamp.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at stuff.
No, that's perfectly fine. That's what it's there for.
How do I look at which one is the other news article? The one next to the.
It's the Carriage Accident, so it's in the Journal tab.
Yeah. Okay. Is there nothing in there?
Yeah, we got told that was not a dead end as such, but there's they've covered it up.
Oh, okay.
So so basically, if you believe what's in the journal,
Yeah.
whatever this thing killed one of the friends, and
Yeah.
sent the other one mad. But to cover it up, they faked this carriage accident.
Oh, okay. So did the 6 friends, well, not all 6 of them, but did the ones that survived, the 4 of them, did
so
they
the ones
then
that
stage
survived,
it?
Yeah. So they've staged this accident to as a cover story.
Why can't you do
Okay.
Because obviously they'd have probably ended up locked up, or either accused of murder, or locked up in an asylum. If they tried to tell people what actually happened, or what the claim happened.
Yeah. Have either of you two performed a ritual before?
No.
Do you know the word? Do you know the words of the ritual?
No.
No.
I think we need, if that thing's still in the attic and those runes are still working, it's not getting out of there for a while. So I think we should either look for where that dust is, try to find what that dust is or what it's made of, or I don't know.
Why don't we just torch the house?
Well, if you burn the house, it'll destroy the wards, won't it? And then when the wards are gone, it can just escape.
But it would destroy this thing as well. Fire destroys everything.
Does it? What is it? What is this?
Tell me something what is not destroyed by fire.
Fire. I don't know. You can't burn a ghost, though, can you? If it's a ghost that they've summoned.
I don't know. It was an idea only.
So we need the dust. We need this pentagram.
Have we got any images? Can we? So we can go to the house. Have you been to? You've been to the house, yeah?
We have,
Yeah,
yeah.
but we haven't been inside. We just checked
Could-
it from outside.
Could you see anything through the windows?
No, it was too
Not
dark.
really.
So you couldn't see the pentagram from.
No.
Couldn't see anything.
Well, else do they describe the pentagram? Is it like in? Is it in direct line with any of where the windows would have been, or?
No
We
idea.
don't know. Doesn't say. You know what we know now.
Oh, cool. Okay. Okay. What? Servant. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, this is the other thing. It's like there's 3 of us, but there's like on the picture of the sarcophagus that's handwritten, there's 6. Oh, the first and the last one's the same. Oh no, that's the Seeker of Wisdom and the Seeker of the Wisdom. So there's 6 there, and there was 6 when they originally chanted it. Do you think like the 6, my father and the other 5 members, were taking the roles of these 5 people?
Probably.
It's possible, but we could just double down on what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might
This
get
is-
twice,
this
might
is
get twice as long.
So,
They also, so going back to the journal, they also said that they could, it was that they suspected it was possible for them to reverse what they'd done, but they were too scared to actually attempt it, and that was after they'd already lost 2 people.
okay, let me.
So there's no, although that's a possibility, there's no direct correlation mentioned between the numbers of people.
Okay.
And of course, the number of the people in the group was determined long before that. So what do you
So-
think your next course of action should be? Where's the like the big where do you think the
To be fair,
source of the biggest amount of, biggest gap of your information that you've got?
Going to be at the house. We could turn up at the house. We could find the translation. We could find some powder, and we could find the pentagram still there.
Yeah.
I agree. We need to go to the house.
They said it was in the attic, so
We don't go to the attic. We search everything
Yeah.
else, and we discuss what to do.
it can move. It can move to the attic.
No, it said in the letter or journal that it cannot leave the attic at the moment. or so.
Yeah, it couldn't. It can't get out. But can it leave the attic and go into the house, or is it just
No,
it's trapped in the attic?
It is trapped in the attic, if I remember correctly.
Okay then.
Oh, Phil, just in case, I
Mhm.
can bring some petrol as well and a
Okay.
lighter,
Get it back.
Okay.
just in case.
So they did the ritual at midnight.
Yeah.
Inject them with something that paralyzes them. It's also from the film. This time.
Should we get a priest?
What do priests know about this?
I don't know. Well, if it's a pentagram, then it must be something occult related.
They just can't move. Right, and of course things
But it's related to the Egyptian mythology, like 3,000-4,000 years ago.
Also, do you want somebody outside of this to know that your father was involved in covering up the death and possibly complacent in the death of another person.
And if it was a man,
No, the only reason that I am here is to keep my mother's name.
like,
My father doesn't.
Because obviously nobody's going to believe that they've
I think it's his own bar.
what it says in the journal. That's if anybody, if you believe it
Why
yourselves.
are you talking as a girl on the other end of this conversation
Okay.
as well? Yeah, but I feel like I should be more responsible because I'm 30 and you're
We're making a move to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go and explore there.
Okay. So it is just after midday. And what? So how are you getting there?
By car.
Dennis's car. Beep, beep.
Dennis says so. You're driving up in Dennis's Model T Ford then.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Okay, right. You take the short, what's it, like 15-minute drive west out of Arkham, up towards Ross's Corner, and out beyond Ross's Corner onto Boom Road, and pull up at the bottom of the track, at the bottom of the hill that leads up to the farmhouse. Let's see where we did the farmhouse. Okay, so the ancient farmhouse sits back away from Boom Road down an overgrown path. You note an old dead tree blackened by a lightning strike in years past, which marks the turn-off of the path and the farmhouse. The farmhouse becomes visible after travelling along the path through the trees. The road is a wide, weed-grown gravel track leading up to the farmhouse and the remains of a large barn. The house is of 18th century saltbox design with a high peaked roof and windows flanked by sagging shutters. While most of the windows are broken, the ones still intact are filthy and resemble frosted glass due to years of dirt and dust. It's a single-story structure. The remains of a porch swing rest at the edge of the trees that once supported it. The chains have long since broken, and they swing lightly in the breeze, making a creaking metallic sound when the wind picks up. The swing lies on the ground with weeds grown through its spaces and the rotting wood and the wood rotting back to the earth. On the lintels over all the doors and windows are carved symbols of a strange nature, which must be the ones mentioned in Rupert's journal. There's a single door at the front of the house with a small oil lamp hanging from the wall besides it. And sort of around the house, in the grounds around the house, there's an old collapsed lean-to, an old derelict barn, and a privy.
Now we've been here before, and the privy was used. And as I recall, we set some traps to see if anybody was coming and going.
Uh-huh.
Can I take my notebook and like copy the symbols that are drawn around?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest the same.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, the things, the branches and things that you set that you propped up against the door, the things are being moved.
So something's coming and going from the house.
Someone.
Something. The ghost need to poop.
I mean, I like to look for trucks. Is it possible to pick up some trucks?
You can make
I'm
a tracking roll.
Is it human or animal or something else?
You can make a tracking roll if you like.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, right. You can't. No, you can't see any clear signs of anybody's comings and goings, other than what you've already noted.
Can I do a listen?
Yeah, by all means.
What do I have to do for that?
It's a listen roll. Roll a percentage.
So, oh yeah, so 2 of these. And then do I get an, I don't get a plus for anything, do I? I just
No.
roll that.
Just roll that.
Okay.
So is your okay? So other than the wildlife, surrounding wildlife, you don't hear anything, but you do sort of note that although you can hear wildlife further afield, it's strangely quiet in the immediate vicinity.
Like a dead zone.
I've got spot hidden, Phil. Is that something that you'd roll for?
You could roll if you were trying to spot for something. If you but you know, you have to say specifically what you're doing.
I'm looking for anything that's out of place or, looks different to the last time we were here.
Okay. Let's see. Right. So no, there's nothing different. There's this the dead raccoon's still there in the grass where you left it.
The hole in its chest.
Yeah.
I like to do. I'm looking for if someone is watching us, looking at us while we are doing this.
Okay.
Can I try to look for that, please?
Yeah, you can make a spot hidden, I guess. Okay, so yeah, you look around, but you can't see anybody sort of, in hiding anywhere, and certainly nobody in clear view.
Okay. All right.
I
Thank you.
turn to Dennis and say, we've put this off for long enough. I think it's time to go inside.
Yeah.
Did you make a copy of the runes on the door?
Yeah.
It'll take about an hour to do that.
Fine. We do it. We wait.
Okay.
Actually, I like to make some copies in my journal book as well. In the
Okay.
meantime.
I'll enter the house while they're doing that.
Okay. So right, the door is locked.
We have the keys.
You do indeed have the keys, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, so the roof is a little. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So it's yeah, like I said, it's a single-story structure. The roof is a little board, but the shingles are all intact. The whole place exudes a strange, unsettling atmosphere. There's no birdsong in the trees, just the sound of the many branches swaying in the breeze. And it's as if the house has been waiting for you. Pretty Firehouse. Single door. Right. So, stepping through the front door of the farmhouse, the front room is dirty and long untouched. A foul odour greets you. Dust lies thickly on the furniture and empty shelves, while dead leaves and detritus cover the floor. An old rusting iron stove rests against the wall, the ventilation pipe still connected to the outside. There's a round table with chairs near the stove. The wooden floor is warped and stained, the result of water leaking through the roof and ceiling. Rot has eaten away to table, an old couch and matching wing chair. Perhaps these mouldering pieces of furniture are the source of the foul odour that pervades the room. There is an entrance to the second house, so the house seems to be split into just two rooms. And near the entrance to the second room is a narrow opening in the floor, revealing a steep flight of steps leading down to a root cellar. You can make so Solomon can make a listen roll. Okay, so what are you doing?
I'm listening.
Right, you can't hear anything.
Okay. I am looking for anything, the signs of the stuff that were needed. So I'm looking for.
Powder.
Yeah, I'm looking for signs of the powder, the translation, any pentagram script anywhere.
Amber.
Yeah, amber, or anything that we could use, or that might have been left part of the ritual. Supplies is what I'm looking for. Ritual supplies.
Okay, so can you see that?
Something's going on.
We're not loaded up yet.
No, it's just coming.
No.
It's all black.
Okay, you can't see anything because you're outside.
Oh, okay.
Let me just.
How do I see the big white letter?
How do you what? Sorry.
You know the big white letter that's behind the book?
So they haven't shown you that.
Okay. I can't see the carriage news paperwork stuff either.
That should be in the journal.
It's
Am
when
I
I
wrong,
click on it, it's just a blank page.
So you click it where it says image at the top. Click on where it says image on the bar at the top.
Okay. Oh yeah, I got it.
I think I'm on the wrong scene, Phil. I reloaded the application and I'm back on.
Oh, right.
Evidence
Okay.
screen.
One moment.
Did anybody speak to Sheriff Johnston?
He's like long gone.
What, dead?
Yeah, that's like decades ago.
Okay.
Everything's black, Phil.
It's dark inside the house. You have no dark vision.
Okay, it doesn't matter too much. If it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it don't matter too much. Let's give you while the people are outside. Let's give you that picture of their house outside.
So. Okay.
Right. So yeah, like I say, you're in just one half of the house, Solomon.
Do I see anything of use in this half of the house?
Not anything. So you don't see anything other than what you've already seen. So like I say, it's dirty. There's rotten furniture. There's a rusty old stove. There's nothing jumping out at you.
No runes, no carvings, or anything like that.
No. There's nothing like that on the inside. So other than that, there's some steps leading down to a cellar, and there's the next to this cellar steps, there's the sort of open doorway that leads into the other room of the house, to the back room.
I'll make my way to the other room, not the cellar.
Okay. Right, the back room contains a comfortable armchair in one corner, or what would once have been comfortable, but it's rotting and falling apart now. While a table stands against a wall beneath the rear window. An old walking stick lies on top of this table. There's a large stone fireplace made of grey stone. There's also the back door to the house that you presume leads out in the direction of the barn. And in the ceiling, set in the middle of the ceiling overhead, is a trapdoor that presumably leads to the attic space. The wooden frame surrounding the trapdoor is decorated with the same occult carvings that are around the door, the outside, the doors and the windows outside. There's also a large piece of worn and wrinkled fabric on which rests a box, a few items. You can see a box of matches, what looks like a dirty piece of soap, a tin cup, a screwdriver, a can opener, a jackknife, and a stub of a candle.
Okay.
So that's what Solomon can see inside. So so meanwhile, Bertrand and Dennis are outside still copying these, making copies of these runes into the notebook.
Yeah. So, can I ask a question?
You can?
So, when they did the ritual and when the one member went mental and the other one died, were they all the same age? It's like, was my father like their professor, or was he just like they were all students?
No, so they were all students. Marion, so it said that they were all students in the same. So they were all about the same age, but
Yeah.
But Marion Allen was. It said he was older. It didn't say how much older. Said he was a bit older than he was a bit older than the rest of them, but it doesn't say how old. So what's Solomon doing?
I will gather the box of supplies and take them through to the other room.
Sorry, get the what?
Gather the box of supplies and take them through to the other room.
So it's a piece of like wrinkled old fabric that's got a box of matches, a dirty piece of soap, a tin cup, a screwdriver, can opener, jackknife, and the stub of a partially burnt candle.
Yep.
So you're going to pick all those things up.
Yep, wrap them up inside the little cloth thing and just hoist them away.
Okay.
I will go back to the gentleman and I will inform them what I've seen, including the cellar and the attic trapdoor.
Okay.
Cool. We were outside scribbling away, listening.
I'll let him know that there's more of those signs inside the house around the trapdoor as well. Which is interesting because why would he know to put him around the trapdoor? Would it be to stop something getting out?
Someone is living here.
Or somebody's been back to do something. Maybe somebody, we could wait and then see if somebody comes back again and find out what they're doing.
You know those things, that pen knife and whatever else. Can you read that list again, please, Phil? Sorry, we are eating. Sorry.
Excuse me. Right. So there is a piece of fabric that they were all sat on. A dirty piece of fabric. And there was a full box of matches. One box of matches. A small sort of dirty looking piece of soap. A tin cup. A screwdriver. A can opener. A jackknife. And the partially burnt stub of a candle.
Okay.
Was there any? Sorry.
You can carry on.
Was there any like cans down there? Like
Not that I
food
could
cans
see.
or anything like that?
Not that I could see.
So if I try to date these items, are they 1920s or are they 1870s?
So they're grubby and dirty, but they look like they've seen recent use. They're certainly not things that have been abandoned.
Is the soap actually soap?
Yes.
It is soap.
Okay, I checked the soap. Sometimes when you use soap, your hair and whatnot, sticks to it. Is it? Do I see anything? Long hair, short hair?
So you see a couple of short hairs.
Are they curly hairs or are they straight?
It looks like bits of facial hair.
Hmm. So it might be male. Oh, who is using these items? Hmm. Okay. We have to find who is living here or what the heck is doing here. Can it be? Can it be? We have these 6 people who died. Can it be one of them faked his own death and he's still living here and guarding the whole thing?
Well, I read something, and it might be nothing, but like that whole thing where the bloke died on the carriage,
Hmm.
it they didn't perform an autopsy. They gave it back to the body back to the family, and then they buried it as quick as possible. What's to say that Jonas Mencken is actually dead? With your thinking, maybe we could, I don't know, go and dig him up.
No, how about we leave a note on the desk? We are here to help. Contact us or something.
Um, that'd be good, unless this person is trying to free whatever it is in the attic.
We
We don't
don't.
really know their intention, do we?
Yeah, but listen. If that person wanted to free whatever is in the attic, could have done it already.
Maybe, yeah, could have done.
So I think whoever is living here or hiding or whatever is having the same goal as us. So my suspicion is one of the 6 is alive.
What?
It's
Why
gonna
do
be
you,
it's gonna be an old man, or it can be like you, the son of one of them, or something. I don't know. I'm just based on.
okay.
So can we search the house, Phil?
Yeah.
I'm looking for hidden trapdoors.
So you're
You
going.
know,
So you're going into the house. You're going into the house now, yeah?
yes, I got the shotgun ready. It is in an open position, so it's hanging on my forearm.
Okay.
So it's not closed.
Hmm.
Okay. So if I drop it, it's not gonna go off.
No. Fair enough. Right. Okay. So you go in through the front door of the house into the front room. And like I say, it's the front room's dirty and it's obviously long been untouched. And there's a foul odour that permeates the entire room. Dust lies thickly on the furniture and empty shelves. And there's dead leaves and detritus all over the floor. Against one wall there's a rusty iron stove with a ventilation pipe that's still attached and connected to the outside. There's also a round table with chairs near the stove, and the wooden floorboards are all warped and stained. Probably the result of water leaking through the roof and ceiling. Rot has eaten away at the table and an old couch and matching wing chair, which could be the source. These mouldering pieces of furniture could be the source of the foul odour in the room. So near the open doorway to the back room of the house is a narrow opening in the floor, revealing a steep flight of steps leading down to a cellar.
Okay,
Um,
we need to check the cellar.
Dan, when you went in, did you see footprints on the floor in the dust?
That wasn't something that was immediately apparent.
So,
You see him now, Phil, before we start trampling everywhere?
yeah, if we
Uh,
can. Because there should only be like one set of one step, shouldn't there? It should be yours going in and yours coming out. But if there's somebody else has been there, then there would have been.
right, so So yeah, there's you're not there's like traces of dried, not of dried mud on the pardon me, on the steps.
Okay.
And,
How?
not old either.
You know, the steps leading to the attic or leading to the
There's no
cellar?
there's no steps, so you can't see the attic trapdoor. That's in the back room. So the steps leading down into the cellar, there's like traces of mud on the
Okay.
steps.
Yeah, okay, so downstairs. Sure. So let's go downstairs and let's see what happens.
From? I know that I'm still outside.
No, everybody's gone inside now. Apparently.
Okay. Can I see where that side door is?
Can you see where what size?
There was like, the picture. I can't see it now. The picture of the house. There was a front door and there was a side door.
Yeah, so the back door, you can't see it from this room.
Okay, so can I try and see where? Can I go out and round and see if that door's open?
What, the back door?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go out. Yeah, you can go out the front door and go around the back if you want. Yeah, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. What's somebody else doing?
I sent you a picture in the chat, so you can have a look how the house looks like.
Thank you.
You do not any tokens with vision on this scene.
That's why. That's why it's
Yeah,
it's doing
I
it.
had that message as well.
Yeah, that's why it's dark. Sorry.
I don't
Is
know.
that a well next to it?
It is.
Is there anything in the well?
Can't see. It's dark. You can see. You can just see the light, sort of reflecting off water about 15, 20 feet down.
Okay. And is there any type of rope or bucket kicking around?
No, there's the remains of a rope, and that's it.
So which door's the front door?
Oh, I can see the inside now.
So the front door is the one that you come through.
Is which one?
Is the one? It's the one that leads into the room. You've just so there's this one here with the table and the stove.
The one on the east.
Okay.
It's the reverse order.
And the back door's there, and we're in this room. And where's the steep stairs are there? Okay.
So can we search all the furniture, like this desk? Is anything inside the drawers and fireplace?
So you're going into what? So what's everybody doing then?
Searching this
So Bertrand's going outside to go and walking around the back of the house to check the back door.
Yeah.
So you're all the rest. So the rest of you are in the front room at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing?
I am searching the ground floor.
Okay. What? Just this room, or are you going through into the next room?
The whole ground floor.
Right. Okay. And what's Solomon doing?
Excuse me. Can I check the fire for this stuff for recent use and maybe the fire for recent use?
Okie doke. Radio. Right. So, excuse me. Where's my notes gone? Okay. Right. So, Bertrand, you go back out the front door and walk around the house after having a quick look at the well. Although the back door is closed, when you try it, it's unlocked.
Okay. Is there like any tracks on that path to the back door? Because if the front door was locked, hang on, wait a second. So did you say that the branches had been moved from the front door?
We placed them kind of everywhere that we would assume that there were going to be foot traffic. So we thought that somebody had been going through the back door to the privy, which is just above you.
Yeah. So had they been through the front door?
No, because they were locked.
I would say assume not because it's locked.
Yeah, I know. That's what I meant. I was trying to. Well, I mean, I know I do it in a roundabout way. I was just trying to find out if the person that's been in this house has possibly got a key. But is the back door broken? You said it was open, but has it been forcibly opened,
So
or
the
has it been
lock,
unlocked?
so if when you look close at the lock, it's been forced at some point in the past,
Okay, cool.
but it looks like it's been done a long time ago. You know, well,
Hmm.
when I say a long time ago, not recently.
Okay, then. I'm gonna like come in from this door then. Like, I don't know if
Okay.
you can see me. I can see your pointers on the screen. I think
Yeah,
it is.
so everybody can see yours as well. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna come in through here.
Okay. Right. So you all kind of meet up in the back room. So
Oh,
you search.
sorry, Phil. Something that we've not mentioned to Bertrand. We went into town recently, and there is a woman gone missing, a lady,
From Ross's corner.
from Ross's
Oh.
Corner. Yeah,
What's her name?
I can't remember. We upset a few people by asking about it because basically we turned up just as she'd vanished, so we got some dodgy looks.
Okay.
So we made ourselves scarce. So
I
I'm just thinking if there is my thinking is if there is a transient living here,
yeah.
let's just hope he's not done something he shouldn't have done
Yeah.
with the missing lady. Be prepared is what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay. So, can I check the sleeping bag?
Okay, let me say what's there. So yeah, so there's nothing. You don't find anything in the stove. Like I say, everybody kind of meets up in the back room. Right. So the back room, there's a comfortable armchair or rotting armchair. There's once a comfortable chair in one corner. A table stands against the wall beneath the rear window. An old walking stick lies on top of the table. The fireplace is large and made of grey stone. The unlocked back door leads out in the direction of the barn. A trapdoor is set in the middle of the ceiling overhead, which presumably leads to the attic space. The wooden frame surrounding the trapdoor is decorated with the same carvings that can be seen out around the doors and windows outside the house.
Yeah.
So Solomon, checking the fireplace, you find it appears to be there's recent evidence of a recent fire, possibly within the last day or so. There's also a thick wool blanket that has been tossed beside the fireplace, and an empty can of Campbell's pork and beans lies nearby. A dirty tin spoon that looks like surplus from the Great War sticks out of the can.
I will make a note. Well, to tell everybody that the others that there's probably more signs of life, and make a point of making sure the doors are shut.
Okay, everybody can make a listen roll. Okay. Let's see. So, let me just check that. Okay, so Solomon and Isvan, Solomon and Dennis rather, you can put a check on your listen roll as you hear some scuffling noises.
From where?
From beneath the floorboards.
Oh, I get my
The cellar.
crowbar ready.
So Bertrand doesn't hear anything.
Okay. So if my listen is like 25, 50, do I have to get over that or under that?
Under or
And
equal or under.
And what did I just get? 34.
Yeah, your listen is 29.
Okay. But don't I have that 25% and then plus the 29 that I put into it?
Oh, is that what you've done? Sorry, it's you're supposed to put the total.
Oh no, I didn't add them together.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In which case you did. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realise that.
Yeah. So have I done? Because yeah, like it's So I've got 5% in that fast talk, and then I had 90. I put 95 points into it, so it'd be 100.
Right. Okay.
Can it be only 96%?
It can only go.
Be...
Yeah. So it can be 100, but you can't roll better than 96.
Okay. So
The surplus is just like a buffer against penalties.
okay.
So yeah, you need to add them together.
Okay. So
So I'd already done that with the drive auto because I'd spotted that and thought you'd forgot to.
no, I didn't do it to any of them. It's like the small numbers. Even the small numbers, I didn't add to the other ones. It was
Yeah.
the 25s.
Right, no problem. So yeah,
Okay.
so in which case you did hear something then. So you can all check your listening skills. So yeah, you all hear like you can hear movement beneath below the floorboards.
Do I know the exact spot? Can I identify the spot where it's coming from?
Yeah, directly below you.
Okay, I get my crowbar and start to peel up the floor.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's a cellar beneath us. There's some steps just there if you want to go see what's underneath it.
Sorry, I took the somewhere underneath the floorboards rather than in the room below.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
That's what I thought. But yeah, let's check the cellar first. I took
I guess
someone.
no, you're right. I'm just
Someone hid underneath the floorboards between the.
Yeah, below the floor. Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, I can see why the description does make it sound. Yeah, but yeah, it means
Okay,
below.
so it's below. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we are going to the solid. Sorry,
Yeah.
I took I
No,
had
no,
this-
that's quite because when I first read it, I thought that's it makes it sound like that. Yeah. So yeah, some sound movement which sounds like it's coming from beneath the floor. So,
Okay, so I put on the the electric torch I have, battery powered torch, yeah,
okay.
and start walking down the stairs, and I indicate the others. Let's go.
we need a marching order.
I'm at front. I have a gun.
Okay.
Actually, two guns.
So you gun. Sorry, go on.
I'm gonna pick up that staff that's on the table.
The walking stick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
good shout. You can go. You can go second then.
What type of walking stick is it?
It's a walking stick. How do you mean? What type?
Is it just a plain one that's like a crook, or has it got some type of initials or engraving on it?
No. So yeah, it's just a plain walking stick. It's
Okay.
not got any fancy handle or anything. No. It's an old battered walking stick.
I'll ready the jackknife. Is that like just a penknife?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, no. We'll go scruddy. I'll get tooled up. I'll ready a screwdriver.
Have you got a weapon? I'll tell you what. I'll give you the walking stick, and
No, I've got a weapon.
take my gun out.
Oh, have you got a gun?
Yeah. He
Oh, okay, cool.
told me that I could have stuff, and I could put it in my inventory, and I got a. Hang on, wait a minute. Did I actually write it down? I might not have. No, I didn't. I was going to get a gun, but I didn't. I got smokes and waterproof matches instead. A car.
Question: can you use a revolver?
Can you use what?
A revolver, handgun.
Yeah, I've got a proficiency in it.
Okay, so I hand you my revolver. It's a 45,
Okay, cool. Thank you.
and I keep the shotgun, and we are ready to go.
Okay. So it's Dennis, then Bertrand, and then Solomon taking up the rear. Is it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So Dennis, can you make a spot hidden check?
Yeah, right away.
Oh, nice, very nice. That's a 2. Okay, right. You start heading down the cellar steps, and you stop short as you notice a figure hiding in the shadows just near the bottom of the steps.
I point the torchlight on him or her.
Okay, right. The flinch away. You see a scruffy-looking man in sort of worn and patched-up clothing with a scraggy, collar-length red hair and a scraggy red beard.
Is he old or young?
Looks sort of maybe maybe a bit older than yourselves. Right, in his hand, he's got a big, got like a table leg in his hand.
So I lower the gun and I, indicate the rest with the hands up, stop. And I tell him, we mean no harm. I just want to talk to you. In English.
Okay.
Are we all privy to this, or can we all get involved?
Well, you can hear and possibly you probably see what is the person is shining the torch. Okay, so
What can we see downstairs?
sorry?
Is there an image for downstairs?
No, there is not.
So is it just like a big black empty space the same size as this
roughly,
area?
yeah, so it's roughly the same size as the house itself.
Okay, and whereabouts is this dude in
So,
relation to the upstairs?
It's about here.
Okay, so all of this area is blind to us. We can't see this.
No.
Okay, so while you're watching this dude, so where is he?
I shall put a little scribbly thing. So he's about here.
Okay, at the bottom of the stairs.
So there's like they all like places like full of, it's cluttered with broken furniture and boxes and old beds, like loads of junk everywhere.
So what is his reaction to?
Okay, right. He's sort of sorry. Did you say Bertrand were doing anything, or are you waiting, or?
I wanted to see if he answers Steve.
Dennis.
Dennis.
Dennis, the character. Okay, right. So he sort of looks a bit anxious, and he drops the table. He goes, I ain't here I ain't to hurt anybody. I just come for my stuff.
Okay, I ask him what's his name.
Jake, call me Red Jake.
Are you from around here?
So, I've been holing up here a couple of days ago.
Where are you from?
Around?
I just asked, are you around from here? You said no, and now you say yes. So how do I believe everything you say?
No, he didn't. He said he's held up in here, and he's just from around. He didn't say anywhere. He didn't say where he were from.
So are you from around?
Around? Not local. No.
So he's not local. Okay, and what have you been doing here?
So I found the back door open a couple of days ago, and the other day, and thought it'd be a good place to stop. But this place is haunted.
By what? Can you tell us what did you see or hear?
Some evil spirit here or something. So I just want my stuff. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah, sure. I reach into my pocket and I give him an apple. Okay.
Right, so
I guess
looks like you're a bit puzzled.
He's hungry, I guess. I seriously, we mean no harm to you. I just want to know what you experienced, and you can be on your way.
So I told you there's something evil here. I just want my things. I want to get out. He tries to makes to try and go up the stairs, but he stops when he see the others blocking the staircase.
I think I don't want to hurt him or anything, and he doesn't know much, does he?
I'm going to ask him, is there anybody else here?
No, it was just me.
Okay.
He's just a hobo.
Yeah.
Can I ask him if he has any knowledge of the missing lady from these parts? And then I want to make sure he's not lying to me, however I can do that.
That would be a psychology check. So I don't know anything about no lady.
I'm going to use persuade, and then I'm going to ask him, are you sure about that?
Okay.
Can I do that?
You can, yeah. Okay, right. Okay, so I've told you I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about no missing woman. And so Solomon
Reading says
to
she
the
were old.
best.
Pardon?
Reading says she were old.
Yeah.
Flip it tongue there, hobo.
So Solomon, to the best of your knowledge, he is telling the truth.
Okay. How old? Sorry, can I just ask something? How old is this red dude?
He's a little bit older than us. He's like 40.
Has he got a limp?
Has he got a what?
Has he got a limp?
Nope,
Okay then. So whose is the walking stick upstairs?
it's mine.
But you haven't got a limp.
Do I need a limp? I walk a lot.
Shoot him in the leg if he. So it's a walking stick, as in a piece of wood that was like a straight, like a walking stick, as opposed to an old person's kind of walking stick.
Yes.
All right then. So I thought you meant it was like an old person's
No, not
type.
not like a cane. No, not. No.
Okay. I don't trust him.
Says, look, I don't know anything. I just want to get out of here. This thing, I don't want to stay here. And he goes to try and move up the stairs.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
I don't
Let
know.
him go. Let him go.
Okay.
He's not the problem here.
I think that it's like if you was in a house and you thought there was a ghost, you would stop there a couple of nights. You'd be like, okay, yeah, no, nothing's making a sound around here. It's a derelict house. He obviously not that hungry because he looked at your apple funny.
Oh yeah, you could have a point. Okay, then what to do with him?
Okay, I ask him to empty his pockets on the table, and I want to see what his stuff is, because in theory he's trespassing on my property, on Merriweather property. Because even though they gave you the deeds, we could try and say to him, look, this is our property. I know that you're saying this. I want to make sure you haven't stolen anything. Do we have to call the authorities or something like that? What do you think?
Right,
I'm talking to these two kind of like quietly, so the other dude can't hear me at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea to search him. I trust people, but you are right to be suspicious.
I used to, but I'm a journalist.
I know.
Okay, so I'm going to ask him to empty his pockets.
Right, so he sort of reluctantly, somewhat reluctantly, he turns out his pocket and says, all my stuff's upstairs on the table.
Okay, then so...
That's my walking stick.
Yep. You can have it back when we've been upstairs. So we shut the two upstairs doors. Shall we go upstairs, like one of us watch him and then the other two go and check the table, or two of us watch him and one go and check the table, make sure there's nothing there?
I said I was gonna search the table when we came in, if you remember. No, what we should do, all three of us going up and check him, what he's doing, and he can leave.
Yeah.
If he is okay. But we need to search the table just in case something is hidden there.
Okay, so what's y'all doing?
We go up.
Y'all going up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right, he starts following up the steps.
Okay.
So he's behind us. Okay, I'm gonna we put him like in between us? So like there's one person behind him at least and one person in front of him.
Well, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And we've already checked him, so he hasn't got any weapons on him.
Nope. He had the table leg, but he dropped that.
Okay, so let's go and have a look at this table.
Okay, right. He leads you to the table in the back room, and he's, somebody's taking all my stuff.
Ah, what stuff?
Says they're on there on the table in the old bit of fabric.
I don't see
I
any
don't
stuff
know.
there.
Boss must have took them.
Yeah.
You
What
took
was
'em.
there?
Solomon picked him up.
How do you know that?
No,
I don't even know that. I was outside. I don't know. I've just got an empty table in front of me.
I'm saying that. Not. I'm not sure if Dan realizes that's what he picked up.
Oh,
Yeah,
we know where it is.
I know I've got it. I know I've got it, but he don't know that.
No, he doesn't. No. Says that we're all there on the table. A pocket knife and a can opener and my cup.
There's some food over by the stove. Is that yours? Is your stuff over there?
That's my blanket.
There you go. Might all be over there.
No, it was on the table.
Maybe your stuff's in the attic. You should go and have a look.
I will give the hobo stuff back.
Oh.
There's nothing in here that I want to keep.
Right, he snatches it back off you and starting to look a bit worried.
What's the papers?
They're not papers. Ignore that. Ignore that
Okay.
picture. I don't know what some of the stuff's supposed to be on there.
Okay then.
Oh no! Actually, I do know what they were. It's just they're being omitted from that. From all. So in all description, they're like clippings from catalogs and magazines, like with pictures of women in lingerie.
Okay. So his name's something red in it.
Red Jake.
Red Jake, and he's a hobo.
He certainly looks the part.
What's his hands like?
Dirty.
What's his nails like?
Dirty, like the rest of him.
So he's not fake, he's real.
Yeah, because like I could stick my hands in mud and make them look dirty, but then.
So yeah, his hands look like ingrained dirt in them.
Is he skinny or chubby?
He's not like a rake, so he's not starving, but he's not chubby. No, not by any means.
Okay,
I believe him.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him. Have you seen anybody else near this property?
He says, no, I told you, I haven't seen anybody.
So why didn't you leave if you think this place is haunted?
I did leave.
Why did you come back for your stuff? Why didn't you take your stuff?
Because I ran out. This thing in the house. It scared me. I ran out of the house. It chased me.
Okay, so you came in, you put your stuff on the table, you went to sleep, you woke up, you left, and then you came back again.
I came back for my stuff, and then I heard you. I heard you outside. I thought it was the thing. So I hid in the cellar.
I got a question for you.
Hang on. You said it chased you. What did chase you?
The ghost.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it. Why would I run from something I can't see?
So describe what you seen.
It's like a ghost.
Did it leave the house?
Like a black shape.
Did it leave the house?
It chased me into the woods.
So it did leave the house.
That's what I said, isn't it?
Okay, what time was this, day or night?
Night time.
And could you outrun this thing? What was it, flying, rolling on the ground?
It was flying.
How big was it?
I don't know.
A dog? A house?
No, I don't know. Maybe about my size. I don't know. I wasn't looking. I was hanging around to look.
Okay, and when you left the property, did it go after you or stopped, or what happened?
I don't know. It chased me. I ran into the woods and I lost it.
Why was you downstairs if your stuff is upstairs? We was at the front door.
Because I heard somebody coming into the house.
Yeah, but you, from where you was, if you was getting your stuff, you mean you ran towards us as opposed to going out the back door?
I just panicked. I hid in the cellar.
You hid in the cellar of the house that scares you?
Yeah, I didn't know who it was.
I want to go back downstairs and check the cellar before we let him go anywhere.
I got him upstairs.
I haven't got a torch.
I hand over the torch. Actually, I have two of them.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
want
one.
to. Let's
I'll
have
go
a,
down as
let's
well.
have a good look downstairs. Keep him where he is. He can sit in that chair where the game master is, and just keep an eye on him.
Okay.
So I'll watch him, and then you two can. Do you want to check the cellar? Have you got better? I haven't got spot hiding. I didn't go for that one.
I've got spot hiding. I
Nice
can
one.
check.
Okay, yeah, you got him. We check. So we go down, Phil, and check the whole cellar.
Okay. Pardon me.
Oh, that's not the button. That's the button.
Okay. Right. Oh, so all the while that he's sat in this chair, he's just constantly fidgeting and like scratching himself and twitching like a nervous twitch. And
Or like a
he's-
junkie.
Yes, yeah, a bit like that, yeah.
So
And-
is he?
and
Is
it's
he an
just-
opium head?
Um,
Why does Suey listen to me then? Shut up.
and he's just constantly looking around. He looks genuinely terrified.
Does he look like he's like withdrawing from something?
You could make a medicine roll.
Let me see. What's my medicine? Dude. Sorry, it's just loading.
Phil, are we gonna be long?
We can call it in a bit. I
Yeah,
don't think we're
'cause
gonna. I don't think
yeah,
we're gonna
I'm-
finish it tonight.
No, neither me and I need to do things in the morning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm good when you guys are. So what do I want to roll? Percentage?
Yeah.
I've only got 5%, the base.
Okay, no, you have no idea, no.
Yeah. What's up with you? Can I persuade him to tell me what's up with him? And if he,
It
like,
just tells
is
you
it-
he's scared. It says, I'm scared, I want to get out of here. You people are crazy. Right, so meanwhile, in the cellar. Where are we? Okay, so you look around the cellar. Did you make a spot hidden roll?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Right, search around the cellar, just appears to be full of junk, and then you notice a like old piece of cobweb covered tarpaulin poking out from beneath a pile of junk, and moving it all aside, you find a like a sea chest.
Oh,
And it's carved into the lid as runes identical to those or similar to those carved around the doors and windows.
Is it open?
It's not open, but it's not locked.
Okay, I open it.
I just. Oh, can't say anything. I'm upstairs.
Yeah, you are upstairs. Sorry.
Okay, right. You open it, so it the lid creaks a little as you lift it open, and it's full of cobwebs. But also inside is old yellowed cigar box.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, I open carefully this cigar box.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
I'm not trying to spill it,
Okay.
just in case we have that dust thing in it.
Right, so inside the cigar box are a sheaf of paper of yellowing papers. Let's see, I think we've got a picture of the cigar box. Oops. There we are.
Is that a hand grenade type of thing?
No, and also, so there's a sheaf of papers, and also a wooden box with some some kind of brown powdery substance in it, and then
Aha.
a metal, almost like a metal snuff box, and inside that is like this weird sort of silvery powder, almost like talcum powder, and when you touch it, it like it sort of adheres to like adheres to your skin, and it's really hard to get off.
Okay, so I carefully close it back, and I'm gonna bring this up. I don't wanna ruin it or spill it or whatever.
Oh,
Okay?
there's also, I'm sorry, there's two old black candles as well.
Aha.
Take the candles as well. But we still need to find. Actually, we need to find that. You said piece of paper as well, isn't it?
There's several pieces of paper.
Is anything written on them?
Yes, there is. The one of them is a letter. The one that's wrapped around the others is a letter signed by Marion Allen.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna walk back upstairs, where there's light, and put it down on the table so all of us can see it, and we read it and investigate all papers, what to do, how to do. Okay?
Okie doke. Right. Okay. Right. You carry it back upstairs and put it on the table. So yeah. So Solomon, Bertrand, they bring this cigar box, big old cigar box, and put it on the table.
Okay.
At this point, Red Jake, while you're distracted briefly, Red Jake jumps up from his chair and makes a run for the door.
Okay, I'm going to clothesline him.
Okay, you can make a right. Where are we? Let me get rid of this. I don't need to see this. So if you make a, what was it now? It's dex. So yeah, can you roll a percentage? What's your dexterity? I need the resistance table.
Dexterity is dexterity is 14.
14. Just need to find this resistance table. Where the hell is it? Come on, where are you?
So this roll percentage.
Yep, just roll a percentage.
Okay.
Where is it? Come on, where is it? Ah, there we are. Okay. Okay, right. He manages to. You try and just knock him flat as he rushes for the door, but he ducks under your arm and like just charges out the door.
Okay, can I make a luck roll for him falling down the steps?
You could try and make a luck roll to try and grab him as he's going past, I suppose.
Yeah, try and grab his ankle or something.
Okay. Go on then.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see what that number is.
Right, yeah.
So that number's 70.
Uh-huh.
So I need to get under that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right. You make a last ditch attempt to grab him and dive for him as he runs out the door, but he's like too quick for you and he is off.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
It's fine. I wanted to let him go anyway.
I know, but why is he running now if we're looking at this stuff? Don't you think that's funny? It's like you brought that box up and then he bolted.
Yeah, but he wanted to go before that. and he been here for days, or I don't know how long. He didn't even look underneath the tarp. I think he's just innocent bystander, nothing to do with this.
Okay.
That's what I think. That's what Dennis think.
Okay, so the contents of so what you're doing? You're doing something. You're going after Jake, or you're looking at the contents of the cigar box, or
Cigar.
yeah, is that everybody, or is everybody what's everybody doing?
Um,
I don't know. I kind of want to take chase after him. I know that you think he's innocent, but I don't know.
yeah, go for it. If you want to chase him, chase him. I want to look for where we would do this ritual, Phil.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
check-
we haven't seen the pentagram thing, have we?
Yeah, that's why we need to read the papers first, because it might say it is in the attic and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
it
well,
did.
so
Set a
going
fire in front of the hearth.
yeah, so going from the description in the journal, it's this they did it in this back room because this is where the fireplace is.
But
Mary
there's
sat
no
in the
sign
hearth,
of it on the
pendulum is
floor.
chalked upon the floor. I suppose it's on a chalk, or it could have worn away.
Yeah, that is like 40, 50 years ago,
Hmm. I
and the
suppose
floor's filthy as well.
and it's been leaking with water and stuff.
Yeah. So what were you saying, Steve?
Nothing. Yeah, me. Sorry.
Okay, so we'll just do this letter and then we'll leave it there for this time, I think.
Oh,
Okay, so I'll tell you what there is. So there's the letter. There's also what appears to be a ritual and also a translation of the ritual, including a diagram of a pentagram with runes. So anyway, the letter. Letter is dated. It's in your journal now, so you'll be able to look at it there. But it's dated 23rd of March, 1877. I don't know why I'm putting this down on paper. It's probably a bad idea, but I feel the need to leave some kind of explanation for my actions and intent. When I took the sarcophagus from my uncle, I did not think it would be missed. I expected to be able to research it and return it later. I was such a fool. Despite believing in the powers we tried to summon, I grossly misunderstood the consequences. Now Robert is dead and Harold a madman. I'm going back to the farmhouse to organise our things. I dread stepping foot in that place, but I must make sure our materials will be available again when we need them. Since the others are too shaken to attempt a banishment of the creature, I can only hope that the thing hasn't the power to remain in our reality more than a few hours or days. At least it's bound to the house itself. I shall search for a means to destroy it before the last of us passes from this world, and it is released from the house, if it is still there. I believe I know where I can find the knowledge that I need to drive the creature away without assistance from the others. I hear tales of mystics in New Orleans that know much of the true magic of this world. I am leaving the gold box in Rupert's care. I told him not to sell it or have it appraised by anyone, but did not tell him why. He also seemed puzzled by my insistence not to live in Boston, but I believe he trusts my judgment not to go into danger unwittingly. My uncle does not know about our dark brotherhood, so Rupert and the others will be safe from anyone looking for it. I'll be back to put things right again soon. Marion Allen. P.S. I write this before I close the lid on the trunk. The thing is still in the attic of the house. It seemed to recognise me and spoke foul curses at me. I shall carve protective wards on the trunk to prevent any tampering with its contents, just in case.
There's the New Orleans angle again.
do you think we need? I think we should put the stuff back in that chest that's warded.
think we take the stuff with us.
Yeah. Should we take the? Should we take the chest as well? Because then we've actually got a physical. Oh, maybe it can't leave. I don't know. But I'm good.
How heavy is the chest?
It's not too heavy to carry.
Yeah, we'll stick everything in your chest and then hoik it out of there.
Yeah, let's quickly. I'm going to prop something up against the back door, so it's wedged, and then we can lock the front door on the way out,
Okay.
and then just go back to the house. You can go back to your house, and I'll go back to my house and
That's a good idea.
speak to Mother, see if she knows anything about these people.
The only other thing that I would potentially suggest we do is we tell the village, the lady at the garage or the guy at the church about the transient wandering, just in case she's got anything to do with the disappearing lady.
Yeah.
We
We
don't
can
want to get
report
caught
it
up in
as
that.
trespassing, can't we?
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't know if they're going to enforce it. Cool.
Okay. So, I guess we'll leave it there then for now.
Yes.
Till next time.